Well, g'day, and this is Pedro Harvey, and I'm speaking to you live from Austria, here in the Zillertal Alps, just above a small town of Meyerhofen, which is a beautiful picture postcard, perfect European ski village, really. But quite frankly, Lewis was saying to me, my travelling companion, that the village has more character than some of the people he knows back home. In fact, all of them, I think he said. But down there you've got the Hütte, which is, well, again, it feels like feels like I'm at Mount Buller without the snow. And we're just enjoying some basic food, and later we might be climbing up there, which is a 3,000 metre high mountain. I don't think we'll make it all the way up there. That's the Spiesenhausen or something. But we're walking through these mountains for 10 days if we make it. Behind me here again, also you can see the cows, which are everywhere. And look, this is not a wilderness hiking trip. It's sort of drink beer and follow the footpath trip, and just kick back and relax and have somewhere to sleep during the night, so you don't have to take a tent and so forth. So let's see what we can find out there on the trail. All right, now we've got these guys here who have flown that is, into the Zillertal Hut for a beer, and now they're going to fly off. So here's this lunatic, and another one up there, who's just going to fly off in his paraglider. And apparently they cost 2,000 to 3,000 euro. Let's see if this works. Let's see if he makes it to the bottom.
You don't have to.
Well, he's hoisted it into the air, and that's it. Simple as that. Off you go.
You made it look so easy.
Where you land, nobody knows. Amazing. Okay, it's day 2, and there's Lewis and some Austrians who are leaving for dead down below, coming up from our accommodation of the first night, the Hütte. And the apple strudel last night was delicious, wasn't it, Lewis? Wunderbar. I don't know if you can hear it, but up there are some cows on the side of this mountain. Now, have a look where they are. There's the scree, and up there are the cows. Definitely not wilderness. Well, here we are on the some unpronounceable place. What was it called again? Krummschleidenschlausenhausen something. And check out that magnificent view. We're going to steal this mountain and bring it back to Australia. So when everyone comes back here, there'll just be desert. We have to head right into the head of that valley today. And it's very difficult traversing these ribs because they're just extremely rocky, so it really wears out your ankles. So it's getting steep here, and there's this cable in the side of the mountain, as well as some steps, iron bars drilled in. That's common at each of the ribs we have to cross. Yeah, I'm glad they're there. You'd need them if it was snow or rain, then I wouldn't even do this in snow or rain. I think it'd be too dangerous. Well, here we are at Graza Hut. Is that right? Graza Hut. That's all right. That'll do. That'll do. And what I want you to appreciate is they give you a beer when you arrive. It's fantastic. And look at that. Apple strudel. Can you see that? Apple strudel. Not to mention the backdrop. And have a look back there. All those people who've busted their gut on this route, which was said to be 9 hours, but we did it in about 7, I think. 7.5 or something. So we really rocked it in.
Australia.
Well, here we are in Graza Hut, and you would not believe who I have with me here. Next to me here is the man who authored the book on this area, Alan Hartley. Welcome to the studio.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome.
Now, you must have spent an enormous amount of time in these mountains, correct?
To do a guidebook like this takes at least 4 trips, both ways.
And how long is a trip? Is it a month?
No, a trip is 2 weeks each time.
Okay. And you're still doing them?
Yes.
And when was that book written?
I think that one is around 2010, 2012.
And
So I'm doing the updates at the moment.
Oh, really? This is an update trip.
Yes,
Okay.
it's but I've got a bunch of old guys with me as well, you know, who are mates. Because we're a grufty tour.
And what?
Do you understand what a grufty is in Australia?
No, I don't know what a grufty
Well, basically we're just coffin dodgers.
Common dodges. What, because you don't fall off the side of glaciers?
No, it's just because we're past it, basically.
You're past it.
Yeah.
Now, what brings you back to Austria? Like, is that a favourite of yours versus Switzerland, France?
Yeah. It is a favourite of mine because it's a niche. For when you start out your mountaineering career,
Yeah.
you go for the big mountains, the names, the Matterhorn, the Eiger, this sort of stuff. Then you realise if you've only got 2 weeks holiday, you'll go on the campsite in Zermatt, wake up in the morning with a foot of snow on your head, so you just go home and don't do anything.
It's too hard to get good weather.
So what I started doing was coming to Austria, coming to Austria with my wife and then my daughter, and Austria provides a good base for people who like to do mountain wandering, as opposed to just climbing peaks. You can do the peaks here. You come along if you're a mixed bag family.
Yeah.
Dad's a climber, mum's a mum, couple of kids in tow. You can come for a very nice holiday here. Dad can with a mate or something. And
I hope my wife's listening to this.
They can go climbing. They can go climbing, and the girls, they can go to the next hut, and they all meet up in the evening and have a wonderful time.
And what's climbing? Why is that more difficult or harder?
Because you need to carry the gear of ice axes, ropes, crampons, mountaineering kit.
Right. You don't need that here?
No, not for mountain wandering.
Oh, mountain wandering.
All
Okay,
my books have a title called a rucksack route. And the rucksack route is not my title. It was given by a guy who worked in these mountains at the end of the Second World War, who was a mountaineer.
Yep.
And what he said is you can come in these mountains with a little more than a pair of boots and a rucksack. So my routes always have a rucksack route.
All right. Well, look, thanks for that, Alan. Now, here is a lovely little display of the local Alpine flowers. And I've got to say, I've seen a lot of what we in Australia call weeds, but they're probably not weeds, they're probably the local plants. But I'm just shocked that someone bothered to do all this, because they're quite fresh, so they had to find them. Very nice here at Graza Hut. Okay, well here we are at the top of a pass at 2,700 metres with that magnificent glacier back there. And the hut we came from, perhaps you can see it perched on a mountainside. And I tell you what, the breakfast I had this morning has kept me going. It's lunchtime, but I'm not even hungry. You hungry, boys?
No, having a very good borscht.
Oh, good bars. All right then. So the huts, what's the hut down there called? Graza. The Graza Hut is down there with lots of steins of beer. Let's go drink some. Now this is some of the stonework you'll find in the Austrian Alps. Can you notice how there's flat slabs of stone to walk on, which make it a hell of a lot easier than walking straight through that. And I'm just wondering, who on earth did this? We've come from high up there and it's all like this incredible path. Very easy to walk on and very impressive. I'm very impressed by these Austrians. Okay, here we are folks at the Graza Hut, as you can see on the sign back there, 2,227 metres. And here are some hikers who've made their way over that thing there. And that looks like an approaching thunderstorm to me. It's looking serious. Let's have a look around the hut, see what we can see. And just excuse me because I'm avoiding the goat poo, because there's goats wandering around here. Let's have a look at the veranda. These huts are owned by the Austrian Alpine Club, and the people who run them from June to September, and they get to make money from the food and beer, which is cheap, so I don't know how they make any money. And the Austrian Alpine Club makes, they get a cut of the expenses. Here's our hiking buddies. Oh, sorry, we're not allowed to film them. Say hello to Australia. There's some more hiking buddies there. Wave. Yeah, we've all been hiking. And look at up there, you've got the beautiful glacier. If you're a serious mountaineer, you can climb up there. Fantastic. So let's keep going on our tour of the Graza Hut. What's your question? Speak into the microphone.
Did you interview the goats?
No, I haven't. The goats are gone.
Yeah, the goats are gone. You should follow them.
Let's have a look at the balcony on the hut. Whoop. Yeah, look at that. The ladies wave to Australia. Yes, they were climbing with us up the pass. There's the glacier. Let's go in here. Have a look inside the hut. Whoa, this is the dining room. As you can see, everyone will be eating here tonight. So let's go through the dining room. Say hello. This lady here, what do you do here? Actually,
I work here, I do the waitress job.
And your family has been doing this for 26 years, correct?
Yeah, 26 summer, that's correct.
Unbelievable. Let's go through here. More dining room. As you can see, this is where you buy a beer from. And there's the man who I think owns this place, runs this place. Okay, let's keep going. Here's some hikers, they've just arrived. And right through here, got the kitchen. Hello. And of course, when you arrive at the hut, you've got to put your gear in the gear room, which is here. You're not allowed to walk in here with your hiking boots. Fantastic, isn't it? Now I'll take you up to the sleeping quarters of the hut. Entschuldigung. Ah, danke.
Bitte schön.
You go straight up these stairs. And we'll see if we can find Lewis. It's really basically a giant ski lodge. And here's Lewis. Say hello, Lewis.
Hello, Lewis.
There's Lewis. All right, it's day 4, and we've got to climb from down there up that ridge to 2,900 meters. I believe that's 1,000 meters we have to go up in one huge push. Really, there's nothing relenting there, and Berliner Hut awaits us somewhere on the other side.
Don't forget to mention how much I'm looking forward to doing it.
You are?
Uphill and me don't mix well.
Yeah, that's why you go to Mount Dandenong with an 18 kilo pack on Thursday nights. Well, here we are at the top of some 2,900 meter pass. We've just come from there. The previous hut's over there, and everyone's been scared out of their wits because there's been thunder and lightning. Very dangerous situation. I was scared out of my willies. Okay, here we are at the Berliner Hut, where we're taking a rest day, aren't we, Lewis?
Yes, a well-earned rest day.
We've had enough, and we just need to take it easy. And this is probably the grandest hut in the whole of the Zillertal Alps here. I liken it to a big ski lodge on Mount Buller. There's the glaciers up there, absolutely fantastic. And here's some of the food you could be eating. As you can see, these people eating their lunch. And let's have a look inside the main dining room. see what we can see. Okay, well the dining room's pretty empty because most people get here for dinner really. But there's the bar. And this will be packed in the evening as it was last night. And let's walk through here into the main foyer. The main foyer of the Berliner Hütte, where you can see here, I don't know who these people are, but I'm sure they're very important. And you can see up there the grand chandelier. And that's it. Knock knock. Here's where you get accommodation at the Berliner Hütte, is that correct?
Jawohl.
And how long have you been working here?
I'm not working at all, really. I stayed here I had my first 10 days, I'd say.
10 days? So you're a baby?
Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much.
No, what at
Can
all.
you say something in German to the viewers back in Australia?
Die Berliner Hütte ist die beste Hütte in ganz Österreich.
Even I understood that. Thank you. All right. So let's just go through here and have a look at what you can order. And perhaps even the prices. You've got the, what's that buttermilk? Sulce in Eisig, Heidelbergen Schmarren, Besunsuppe, that's got to be soup, Tiroler Liebe, and you can see the prices are very reasonable. Like these main courses here, that's €10, so multiply by 1.5, $15. It's peanuts. Spaghetti bolognese, you can see that, €8, so that's $12. I really wouldn't mind some Wiener Schnitzel, I think. Oh well, let's have some lunch and find out. Okay, here's my lunch. Bear in mind it's 3 hours walk from this hut to anywhere. There's no road for the food to come in, and this is my Wiener Schnitzel. And here's Lewis's spag bowl. There's his apple cider, and there's my beer. Lewis, what do you got to say about your spaghetti?
I'm very excited to tuck in.
For €8, what do you think of the value?
Pretty good considering how isolated it is.
Sorry, I didn't hear any of that. What do you think of the value?
It's a very good value considering it's not easy to get supplies here.
No, very hard. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are climbing up the Schönbichler Horn, currently at 3,000 metres. There's the glacier, melting glacier by the way. Apparently some of these glaciers have gone in the last 5 years and they'll all be gone in 20 years. So if someone could tell Donald Trump, and while you're at it, mention it to Les Penrose as well. That's what's up ahead of me. Rock to get to the top of the Schönbichler Horn at 31:34. I'm getting pretty fit now though, after 6 days of this. Lewis, are you fit?
Yeah, could be better.
And there, massive thunderstorms coming. We've got to get over this mountain fast and into the Steggles house with some steins of beer, apple strudel. Okay, we've come out of the mountains and we're down by this lake. And we found this magnificent little establishment here where simply because we're from Australia they gave us some, what was that stuff? Schnapps. And we're just going to grab a Frankfurter here. And you can see it's a lovely little place with the lake down there. And yes, there are fish in the lake. And yes, I did see a rise. And I believe it was a midging fish because I'm seeing a lot of chironomids flying around. Total guess, but there's lots of fish in here, not just trout. So I must admit, I wish I had the rod, but not worth carrying a rod over those mountain passes. Plus, I think it costs a fair bit to fish these lakes. So next, it's up to those mountains there, where there's a hut with this incredible view of the lake. But let's eat our. What are we eating, Lewis? Here's the menu. Check it out. I think we're simply having a Frankfurter mit Brot und Senf. Right, here we are, right on the edge of Germany, Austria itself. We're not in Germany, we're in Austria. And we're talking to Fabio from Stuttgart. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
And welcome to the studio.
Hello?
Now, how old are you, Fabio?
I'm 16.
And you've been hiking for how many days?
7 days now.
With this school group of, how many people are there back there?
We're 69 people.
Wave. 69?
69, yeah.
Does that mean you've been filling up every hut you've been to completely?
Yes, completely.
And all the other hikers are really upset because there's too many kids?
Probably. I would be.
Now let's get to the real point. In Germany, you can drink at 16,
Yes, we can.
and you are 16.
I am 16.
Do you drink?
Of course I do.
But you can only smoke when you're 18.
Yes.
I hope you don't start smoking.
Nah, never.
No? All right, well look, is there anything else you'd like to say to Australians watching this, perhaps in German?
Ich hoffe, ihr kommt mal nach Deutschland. Wenn ihr 16 seid, könnt ihr hier schon Bier trinken. Braucht ihr nicht warten, bis ihr 18 seid, bis ihr es auch in Australien machen könnt.
All right, well thanks for being on the program.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Okay, here we are in, as you can see, Austria. But wait a minute. Dun, dun, dun. Let's step into, let me give you a hint. When the morning hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. That's right, this is Italia. Hold on, let's go back to Austria. No, I think I like Italy. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? This area is called South Tyrol, and it was taken away from Austria as punishment for starting the First World War. So don't you start a war, because part of your country might be taken away. However, it's fiercely German in its culture. They all speak German here, they don't speak a lot of Italian. And the cooking apparently is very German, like the stodgy stuff we've been having. And it's also the most profitable part of Italy for the Italian government, which just shows to you, if you're Italian, pull your socks up, because the Austrian culture knows how to get things done more efficiently than you do. Okay, and that's what we've been coming up in, and that is the white stuff. It's snowing. It just started snowing at about, I don't know, what 12:30, that's midday, and look at some poor people down there coming up. And I wasn't even cold in my Gore-Tex jacket. I had just my short sleeve shirt, Gore-Tex jacket, pretty crappy waterproof pants, and I was fine coming up there. But the wind chill started to pick up, but that is just fantastic. So once that ground cools down, I think we might have some snow on the ground, which will have a bit of excitement to it. Look at that up there, isn't that magnificent? And this hut, I tell you, it's a sight for sore eyes. All right, well here we are in Innsbruck with the final coffee and, more critically, the final apple strudel for the trip. And I've looked up the recipe for Austrian apple strudel, and I will be having a go at making this stuff. Absolutely delicious. The hiking is all over, but that's not the end, because next year I want to come back and do a walk called the E5, which crosses Europe, but I don't want to cross Europe. I want to do the section from Bavaria across all of Austria and into Italy. 147 kilometres of European hospitality. And if there's one message I've got out of this hike, it's Australia, lift your socks up. I'm seeing more, what would you say, Lewis? More standards. There's higher standards here in Europe. Everything's done right. The streets are cleaner. There's more pride in just your behaviour, architecture, how the waiters treat you. I'm impressed, and I love Australia, but we're slipping, we're slack. All right, so that's goodbye from Pedro Avi, and see you on the E5.